What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop being a nerd. Let's go do something fun.
Daniel, leave Amy alone.
No, she's boring.
Daniel, you need to sit down and you need to get on with your work.
So boring me. What are you doing? Why are you ready? You don't even need that.
Daniel, you need to keep class on your own work. How are you going with your NAPLAN preparation, Amy?
Fine.
What's that?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, that's what we're doing now. So you need to stay focused. Good, you're up to question 2. Well done. Okay, now you know with these bits, you cross out the answers you're definitely wrong first, and then it makes it easier to toss up with the
They're all
answers.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, how are you going with yours, Daniel?
Yeah, good. Nothing.
Good. How many have you done? You've done the first 2. You need to have done a lot more by then, okay? We've been working
I'm
on
not a
it for
nerd
quite
like
a
Amy
while.
though.
Alright, now I don't want to have to move Amy because she's doing such a great job, okay? She shouldn't have to move because you're being distracted. Okay, now this is a letter to go home to Mum to say that you won't have to sit the NAPLAN on Monday.
Does that mean I get a day off?
If Mum's around to look after you, then yes, you will. But we still want you to practice as much of it as you can, but we won't need you to sit the test,
But
okay?
I get a day off.
Yep, that's...
That's alright. That's all right.
Okay, good. So now you need to let Amy do her work.
How's your preparation for the NAPLAN going?
It's alright. I've got a few high achievers, which is good, so I'm really trying to push their results along quite a bit. Yeah, narrative's going well, numeracy is going well. Of course, I've got a few kids like Daniel and whatnot that are sort of...
So is Daniel sitting out? Have you given his letter to him?
Daniel will definitely be sitting out. I gave him his letter today, and I mean, even if he comes to school, we can always organise for other classrooms to look after him or whatnot. And I've got probably 2 other students that are very similar.
Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 that won't be completing the NAPLAN as well.
Excellent. That should give us some good results for the government then. Get some
Well,
extra funding
that's
for our
what we
programs.
want.
Yeah, hopefully.
Emma!
Hey, how was school?
Good.
That's good. What'd you do today?
Usual stuff. Got yelled at.
Oh.
You know how it is.
Right.
Look,
Did you take meds today?
No.
You know that. You know how to do it?
I'll do it later.
After this.
Can you just read this? I don't let
What
it
is
today.
it?
I don't know. Well, I do. I think it's kind of cool.
What is it?
I don't have to do a test. I don't know what test, but teacher said I didn't have to do it.
The NAPLAN. Everyone has to do the NAPLAN.
I don't. I get a day off.
Don't get a day off.
I get a day off.
No, I'm going to be speaking to someone about this.
Why? I get a day off.
You don't get a day off. Everyone needs to do the NAPLAN.
You're
Everyone has
always
to be
like
doing
this,
it.
Mum.
You have to do it.
No.
Yes, you do. And I'll be speaking to someone about this.
Oh, no, I'll get a day off. Give me it.
Let it come in.
Hi, how's your day been so far?
Stressful coming up to NAPLAN and everything.
Yeah, it's
How's your class going?
It's
All
alright.
prepared?
I handed all the letters out about NAPLAN, and I think Daniel's mum isn't very happy about
okay.
him not doing the test. I think Rose is going to be popping in
Right.
a few minutes just to talk about. So just want to give you the heads up.
We better set her straight then, shouldn't we?
That's it. That's alright.
Mr. Sebright, Daniel's mother's here for you.
Send her in. Hi Rosa, nice to see you again.
Good to see you again. Hi. Nice to see you again. You too.
What can we do for you today?
Just a bit concerned about the letter that was sent home in regards to the NAPLAN and Daniel not sitting it.
Right.
On what grounds was that sent home? Shouldn't everyone get a chance to
Well, that is the essential part of NAPLAN. However, what results of NAPLAN is that if we get higher results, we get more funding. So the higher achievers, we send them out to do the NAPLAN. And if we get the extra funding, we can then help support Daniel's education further. We can bring in integration aid, we get further resources, and it's a highly competitive market schooling, and we need to be up there.
What if you don't get the funding? What if your school doesn't get the highest results?
That's the aim of this testing, is that by not allowing Daniel to do the test, and some other students, it's not just Daniel, across many of the other classes, the hope is that we can then help Daniel.
But what assessment is in place if he's not doing the NAPLAN? What's he doing instead?
Well, we have set him the NAPLAN questions. It's just he won't be sitting it with the rest of the school.
I understand where you're coming from, but I just don't think that the education system is doing the right thing, and it's not helping my child at the moment.
Well,
yeah, I think we can agree on that. We're not,
there's many things we want to change with the education system, but unfortunately that's the reality of the situation we're in at the moment. And it's just going to be
being
have
a
to have
government
this.
school, we don't really have too much say over the assessment and where the funding goes and the resources go and whatnot. So until a change is made, which we do hope to see in the near future, this is the reality of it.
While Hirsch makes a good point, this narrow mindset is only focusing on creating productive members for the workforce to fuel the economy. Children are being left behind if they cannot reach the predetermined standards and are even being excluded deliberately by schools to sit tests such as NAPLAN in fear these children may lower their average result and compromise their reputation. We do not believe that standardised testing should be the only means of assessment within the classroom, and furthermore should not be used as a method to delegate who is deserving of funding and benefits. The main changes to educational policy must be that teachers' role is valued and not just the results. Educational policies need to work to creating a sustainable world that is also socially just. This means a move away from the textbook learning and standardised testing as the only means for assessment, and broadening assessment criteria so no child is excluded and teachers do not feel the pressure to do so. Our educational policy is formed around the belief that schools should receive funding based on their needs rather than their ranking, and students should be given the opportunity to interact with and be assessed by different methods of learning rather than only textbook facts and how they perform on standardised tests. Government representatives will personally visit schools twice a year to see firsthand the access and availability of resources the school has. These visits will allow funding to be distributed to schools who are in most need and will eliminate the incentive-based and competitive teaching that currently exists.
Excuse me, Mr. Siverite, we've just got Julie Smith here from the Department of Education to see you.
Send her through, thanks. Hi, Julie.
Hi, nice
Russell's
to meet
my
you.
name.
Hi, nice to meet you. Now, I'm from the Department of Education, as we were saying before. I'm here for my routine check about funding.
Ah, yes, yep.
Yeah, because obviously we're understanding that NAPLAN isn't the only way of assessment now. We're
Of
trying
course.
to move forward.
Yeah, we think that's a better way too.
Yeah.
So would you like to come through and see one of our classes?
I'd love to.
Okay, let me take you through.
Thank you.
Oh, go on my profile. You're on Facebook, go on mine.
What are we doing?
Checking out Facebook? No, I mean,
No,
work.
that's not what we were asked to do. Monique, you need to get back to what you're doing. Thank you. None of that.
Boring.
I'm Miss Yakvangelo.
Hi, how
How's
are
class
you?
today?
It's going very well. We're working
That's
very
good.
hard.
I've just got Julie Smith here.
Hello,
She's
nice
the
to
government
meet you.
representative I told you about.
Okay. Yeah.
She's coming to see some of your assessment. Did you want to sit down and observe the class, or?
Yeah,
If
I
you've
want
got
to chat.
anything-
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave you
nice.
to it.
Thank
Come and see me in
you.
my office when you're done.
Will do.
Anything you'd like to see or know about the classroom?
Because we're not focusing just on NAPLAN anymore. We're coming around to have a look at all the different schools and having a discussion about all the assessment that you're doing.
Okay.
Do you have any of those examples that we can have a look at?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've got some just here.
What are you up to? Very nice.
They're working very hard.
Lovely, lovely.
At the end of each term, we put together a class magazine, which has just got all their articles in it. Some kids have made poems, so just focusing on all the different, forms and texts of language that we can use. And then
Fantastic.
they've also made their own CDs. Some kids chose that that's what they found a lot easier.
Oh,
to
lovely.
present
Learning
easy.
styles, yep.
We also tried to make a DVD. We found it a bit hard. We didn't actually have the resources that we needed, so we only had one video camera between the whole class, which meant it was hard to sort of keep some kids occupied whilst we were video cameraing with others. So having those sorts of resources would have been a little bit easier. But yeah, apart from practicing for that plan and whatnot, we have got guys. Are we working hard here? Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. We've got the CD, the DVD, the magazine, and just using some other little English and numeracy tasks to practice.
Other
the
forms
plan.
of narrative and...
Yeah.
and
That's what we have.
These are all the forms of assessment? Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking
No
the time. during your
worries.
class
Nice
time.
meeting you.
I'll go have a chat with Russell again.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Julie Smith, visit go.
Yeah, it went really well. I think she was rather impressed that we were sort of now moving away from all the standardized tests and whatnot. We were now doing, making DVDs, making CDs, making our own magazines. I think she was really impressed that we were trying to find other ways to include students that, aren't necessarily built for written tests.
So you've noticed the change in the classroom then?
Oh, for sure. I think especially with the students that we had asked not to do the NAPLAN, especially with Daniel, he's a lot more settled now. I think he's so settled because he feels like he's included in the task, he's engaged in the task, he doesn't feel like he's missing out, doing things different to the other students. So yeah, for him.
And I mean, for me, it's much less stressful being ranked against other schools, and
yeah, exactly.
It's just a load off my mind.
Exactly, and I like the way that she's assessing us on different things other than just this test, because there's a lot more that students have to offer than what they can do in one sitting.
Exactly. Ripper.
Woo!
Oppan Gangnam Style.